Bow, 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 bow. Bow. Okay. You doing what? Okay. Okay, bye.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Got your head in the sun, I'm angry. 5 days since you laughed at me. Saying, get that together, come back and see me. 3 days since the living room. I realized it's all my fault, but couldn't tell you. Yesterday, you'd forgiven me. But it'll still be 2 days till I say I'm sorry. Then now I watch a hood wink. Does it make you stop think? You think you're looking at Aquaman. I summon fish to the dish, although I like the shallow fish. I like the sushi, cause it's never touch a frying pan. Hot like wasabi when I bust rhymes. Big like me and rhymes. You hurting campers got the mad hits. You try to match wits. You try to hold me but a bust through. Gonna make a break and take a pick out like a sink and make a chick out like vanilla. It's the finest of the flavors. Gonna see the show cause then you know the vertigo is gonna grow cause it's so dangerous. You'll have to sign a waiver. Can't help it if I think you're funny when you're mad. Trying hard not to smile though I feel bad. I'm the kind of guy who laughs at a funeral. Can't understand what I mean when you say well. I have a tendency to wear my mind on my sleeve. Have a history of taking off my shirt. It's been 1 week since you looked at me. You're up in the air. Crazy. 5 days to talk with me. I still got the reference on those money. It's been 3 days since the afternoon. You realize it's my fault, but I'm too soon. I can wait till you say you're sorry. China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and make your brain stop sticking. Watching X-Files with no lights on. With all our mates on. All of this looking at this. One like Harrison Ford, I'm getting frantic. Next thing I'm getting tricked. Next thing he's guaranteed to satisfy. My first hour, I make that films. Yeah, I don't make films. But if I did that, have a samurai. And get a set of better cups around the time. My hands are always flying off the backswing. You get it in the same mood cause like I think it's got the boom. Better make me think the wrong thing. I can't help it if I think you're funny when you're mad. Trying hard not to smile, but I feel bad. I'm the kind of guy who laughs at a funeral. Can't understand what I mean when you say well. I have a tendency to wear my mind on my sleeve. I have a history of losing my shirt. It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Trying to run the side and say I'm sorry. 5 days since I laughed at you. Just what I thought you were gonna do. 3 days since the living room. We realize we're both to blame, but what did we do? Yesterday, you just smiled at me. It was 2 days till we said we're sorry. It took me 2 days till we said we're sorry. It took me 2 days till we said we're sorry. Trust me, I won't worry about it. Galaxies back in the atmosphere, the drops of Jupiter in her head. She acts like summer and walks like rain, reminds me that there's a time to change. Daybreaks, earthquakes, waves come without you. When I see you in my dreams, you never speak, never do. You need to understand me under your weight, under the impression you gave me. Did I take it? Did it take me further in this continuation? become patient because there are some rules I cannot break. You showed me when you came. The ghost is supposed to love. And why do I feel pain? 'Cause nothing is for keeps. You just can't hold a cloud. The shape will always change. And one day come back down. Not false on all love, all our plans and all ambitions. And this darkness comes to define us, comes to take us and remind us. Find our way from this side of thinking, unafraid and under your wing. Now falls on us either way. 'Cause there are some rules I cannot break. You showed me when you came. Ghost is supposed to love. And why do I feel pain? 'Cause nothing is for keeps. You just can't. The shape will always change. And one day come back down. Life falls on us either way. Life falls on either way. There are some rules I cannot break. You told me when you came, ghost is supposed to love. And why do I feel pain? 'Cause nothing is for can't hold a cloud. Always change and one day down.
right, baby kitten, come here. So right now, I'm just considering a bolt system that would come in from the top and drill down. Then I was thinking about putting like a doorway here, some sort of square doorway that would hold a nut, somewhere in here. You'd slide the nut in and then back it with some sort of backer, maybe seal it up with either CA glue or resin, and then you would have your nut in place at all times here, and you wouldn't have to worry about printing it in. Problem with that system is as you drive the nut down to tighten it, you're driving it into the gun, and it's not, you're going to have major wear on the top end of the rail. So, I don't like, because how are you going to adjust the nut? How even get access to the nut to put it on? Assembly is almost impossible. I mean, that's definitely the easiest, doing it through the top. I'm trying to clamp it down. So goodness. What can we do down here? It's going to be M-lock. What is the system to getting that installed? So normally with an M-lock, what you have is you have your T nut on the end of your 8mm M5 bolt with a flared end, typically a hex drive, Allen screw. So typically when you put an attachment on, that nut is already on the end of that bolt, and you'll feed it up into this crevasse over here. Feed it in over here, up into it. It'll go through, and then you'll turn it, and it'll turn sideways up above. So the problem with our system is that it completely encases the handguard. So sliding it down is the only way. I don't want to two-part this. I don't want to split this thing in half and then have them bolted together. It's not a good look. It's just not a good look. This is definitely the best. So I think it's clear. I don't like it, but I have to make a recess in. I have to make a recess in here. Where I just made those cutouts. There has to be an additional recess actually up on the inside, up in here. Do, 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 do. Oh, it's singing time. That is a problem. That is a bit of a problem. To a point. To a point. We will fix that here in a minute. Boy, that's not much there. Fuck. No. All right, so we're going to jump onto Thingiverse and we're going to look for an M5 T-nut. We're going to jump on Shaper, Public. We're looking for an M5 T-nut. We can just go that was better. M5. Just out of curiosity, nothing there. So Do, 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 do. All right, so we are on Onshape, and I logged in on my account. I went into the public. Whoa, man. What did I get myself into? I just wanted this. Ah, jeepers. What did I get myself into? Boy, people are so doggone handy. Well, I am tempted to manufacture my own T-nuts when I see it. I think it's best to not do that. Okay. What we are going to do. I need to find my calipers. Do. That did not take that long. Okay, calipers. Do. All right. Oh, you're a wombat. Your skins. M5 T-nut in hand. Okay, on the end of an 8mm M5 bolt. Now, whatever this thing is, caliper. I'm not worried about the width or the length. I'm worried about the depth. We are looking at a depth of 2.4 on the thin side, and where it's threaded, we're looking at 3/8. Okay, 2, 4, 3/8. So no matter what, we got to dig down 3.8. Holy shit. Okay, so 3.8 it is. Only it's not. It's got to be 4. Because we got to dig it out just a little bit more. Although, okay, so I think that's what we're going with. I've been toying with threading it on and off. And what it looks like is if it's barely threaded on, we can take it and push it up right with the nut on it threaded. So that's going to sit down inside of there in that orientation, more or less. And then after it's slid on, we will pop it up and turn it sideways and then screw it down to suck it tight. Now, that is easier said than done. But honestly, I plan on stopping right around 10 o'clock streaming here. That's 13 minutes. Now, there is some unfortunate stuff here. This means that see, I don't think that depth can change. I was thinking, oh, I'm going to have to make these lower now. I don't think I have 4 mils there. I do need my width at this point because we're going to make a 4 mil by 7 by 11. 4 by 7 by 11. We can sketch it out in there. I like doing it over here. Let's go 4, 11. fucked up already. I messed up already. All right. Down. And it was 7 and 11. We are going to grab that body and slide it in. Yoink. All right, the orientation is got to go 90. And I think we should oversize this just a little bit. As in, I want this to be like 7.4. Unclick it, click it again. Highlights the whole object instead of the face. We're going to rotate it 90 into its proper orientation. I want to increase this to, let's say, 11.4. That's kind of tight. Ooh, you're wild. Okay. I'm actually going to drop it down. Suppose I can't. Now, this is where it's tough because I've got varying formats of objects in here, so I can't. I can actually. So what I'm going to do to pinpoint this is highlight the exterior. I'm going to go into more. I'm going to add an axis. And that's calculating the center of this circumference. And it's adding essentially a thin rod down the middle that you can rotate things around this particular axis. So why I did that is to find center of the hole. I'm now going to highlight the whole object, and automatically my directional selection point is always in the center of the object. So is just get completely vertical by selecting top. That sucks. We'll have to make it work. We'll have to figure it out by rotating around it and determining that it's not on either side anymore. Okay, so it appears we are directly over top of our axis. All right, I would say that that looks like that's coming out of the center of that, like a laser beam. Perfect. Okay. Close enough anyway. One down, one to go. That took 7 minutes, more or less. Okay. Now, I'm pretty sure that it's just over 40. Just a flat 40 straight over. But there's only one way to tell. So every time I click on the object, it shows what body is selected on the left-hand side in my drop-down menu. What I currently don't have engaged, because it just eats up so much of the screen, and then you're just building here in the middle, is the history. I do often build with both menus out, but I feel like the system runs a little slower when you've got history out. The editing program that we're on here is Shaper 3D. I think Shaper is a great program for people who are starting out in 3D design. Oh. Is it a problem? I don't know. I don't know if it is. All right, we're going to raise them up 0.05 millimeters, just so we don't have any conflict of it being unsure which face is on top and which face is on bottom. And they are so close. And or at the same level. All right, hope she does it. Hang on tight, kids. Here we go. We can see a preview for the most part of how it's going to look when it's cut out. boy, oh boy. That one's like... Well, sometimes you gotta live a little reckless. Okay, here we are. Here's the results. So that doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Not shit. Dogs and cats. Doggone it. That's so thin. And there's really no way I can do it any differently. 10:01 p.m. Okay, so the T-nut drops into this hole for staging. We slide over, T-nuts pop out into their set place, and then get locked down. Lock it down. Problem is, well, that's still enough to bite on, I think. I'm looking at these sides, and that's what I saw in there before we deleted everything, is I'm hoping that is enough. I'm hoping that's enough. Let's take a look at how wide. So this nut is going to slide up in there. And this nut is tapered at the end. Okay. And that tapering is what's going to catch. This nut that's tapered is going to come up in that orientation. Okay. And stick to the bottom here. So this T-nut is going to drop down in the hole. And then come time, it's going to pop out. So It's going to turn sideways. It's going to lock down. This is good. This is good. We've got T-nuts figured out. I didn't get a measure on it, which is why I was displaying it to you. We just rolled over 1 hour on the stream. Doggone it. It's only 9.2 wide. 9.3. That's more narrow than I was thinking. I thought it had a 10 mil. I thought it had a 10 mil cap on it. What does it mean, Basil? It means that I need to make a 10 mil circle. Or I could just bring these guys back. These guys. And we're going to change it to life size here, which was 9.4. And let's see how that affects things. Okay, so what we're looking at here is flat 5. This is real world size right here. So the question is, how much grab do we have at the top of the nut? And here's your answer right there. We have that much grab. Yeah, that's, when you look at it, it's a fair percentage. I really wish it was all of it. I might undo it and get a little bit tighter on these T-nuts. The reason why I'm hesitant, though, is because when the client feeds these inside there to drop them in the hole, I want them to feed down into the hole fairly easy. I don't want it to be like an exact fit. But I don't want these to break off either. Well, I think we are at the point of trying to print this thing. I'll probably slice it and just print a slice. There's this back 30 millimeters or so. There's just no sense in printing the whole thing just to find out that there's a mistake right here in the first. However big, I oversized the hand guard cutout by 2% or something like that. This is the first thing that we ran into really on the stream. It's uncovering that the one ring to rule them all. And then here. I don't think I really did anything today, but I am just exhausted. It has been a long day. I've been up since 7. All right, so I'm going to back drag this and put a fresh face, and this is all going to become apparent here in a moment. I'm setting up faces that I can grab and split the body off from these faces. And how I set the faces exactly where I wanted them to be. And you're like, why can't you use this face? Because this is a mesh body. Currently, it's not a step file like this is. I can actually select a particular face here or an edge, and I can manipulate it how I would like. However, this, when I try to select this face, it selects the whole object, every single face, every single edge, and there's just nothing that I can do about that. There is better software out there that will render this back to an editable form, but it's a little bit tough for it. So highlight the body in question. We're going to come down here to the split at the very bottom. I've tried subtracting it because I cannot subtract this body or union it, but I can't split it. So there we go. I'm going to select the face that I want it to split off from, and then boom, just like a ninja sword, it cut it in half. I'm going to grab this lower half because that's what I want gone, and I'm just going to delete it. We're going to do the same over here with these two. Hold shift so you can select multiple, and you'll see what keys I'm holding down over here on the side. Really, I can subtract these ones? Anyway. I suppose I could make it so these are cutouts. We'll look into that tomorrow. I tell you what. I could take this design. It's currently, when I select the whole thing, and I go to more, I would like to subtract it, right? I would like to make it a reduction instead of an innie instead of an outie. So what I can do is I can load it into a different software that'll turn it into a solid file. Apparently there are some parts of this. Certain parts are solid files, but there's certain mesh bodies that this is made up of. Look at all these bodies that it's made up of. One or several of these has some errors in it that make it uneditable or unusable in unusable in extraction or subtraction. Holy cow, I am tired. What a day. That's going to wrap it up for this live stream, ladies and gentlemen. All 0 viewers. But we are here for posterity. I will get into the background of all this some other time. But it's been a long journey getting here, and not that much further to go. Let's just be honest about that. Yep, that'll work, Junior. That'll work. We're getting somewhere. All right, people. Deuces. Shooter. Do 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 do.